Have you ever stood in an airport, holding your passport, looking at a sign, and suddenly your English just disappears? You know the words, you've studied them, but in that moment, your mind goes blank. Where do I go? What do I say? What if they don't understand me? If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. Today, we're going to fix that. In this episode, we'll talk about English at the airport, but not just words and phrases. We'll also talk about confidence, about staying calm, and about expressing yourself clearly, even when you feel nervous. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let's begin. Imagine this. You've just arrived at the airport. It's busy. People are walking fast. Announcements are playing in the background. You look around and think, okay, what do I do first? This is where many people feel stuck. But here's a simple tip. Break everything into small steps. Airports follow a pattern. Always. First check-in, then security, then boarding. That's it. Simple, right? Now let's go step by step together. You walk to the check-in counter. The airline staff smiles and says, "Good morning. May I have your passport, please?" Pause. Repeat that. "May I have your passport, please?" Now your turn. You can respond with something simple. "Here you are." Or "Sure, here it is." Short, easy, natural. You don't need long sentences. That's a mistake many learners make. They think, I must speak perfectly. No, you just need to communicate. The staff might ask, "Do you have any bags to check in?" Pause, repeat. Now think, what would you say? Maybe, "Yes, I have one suitcase." Or, "No, just this carry-on." Very simple. You say, you already know how to do this. Here's a question for you. Why do we feel nervous speaking English at the airport? Is it because the English is difficult? Not really. It's because the situation feels important. You don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to miss your flight. So your brain goes into panic mode. But here's a mindset shift. It's okay to be slow. It's okay to ask again. It's okay to say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Let's practice that. "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Good. That sentence is powerful. It gives you time. It shows confidence. And it keeps the conversation going. Now you've checked in your bags. Next step, security. You walk up to the officer. They might say, "Please place your bag on the belt." Pause, repeat. "Please place your bag on the belt." Simple instruction. If you don't understand, what can you say? "Yes." "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or even, "Sorry, what should I do?" That's perfectly fine. Here's a small story. The first time I traveled alone, I was nervous, very nervous. At security, the officer said something quickly. I didn't understand. My heart started beating fast. I thought, oh no, what do I do? But then I remembered something simple. I smiled and said, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" And guess what? He repeated it slowly. That moment taught me something important. People are usually willing to help. You just need to ask. Now let's move to the boarding gate. You find your gate number. You sit down. You wait. Then you hear an announcement. Flight 247 is now boarding. Pause, repeat. Flight 247 is now boarding. You walk to the gate. The staff might say, "May I see your boarding pass?" Your response, "Here you go," or "Here it is." Again, short and natural. Let me ask you something. Do you try to translate everything in your head when you speak English? Be honest. Many people do, but that slows you down. Instead, try this. Think in simple phrases, not perfect sentences, just useful phrases. For example, I need help. Where is gate 12? Is this the right line? Let's practice one. Where is gate 12? Good. You can use that anytime. Now you're on the plane. You've made it. Take a moment. How do you feel? Relieved? Proud? You should be. Because you did something important. You communicated. Here's another idea to think about. Speaking English is not about being perfect. It's about being understood. Let me say that again. It's not about being perfect. It's about being understood. So next time you're at an airport, don't aim for perfection. Aim for clarity. Let's go through a quick mini practice. I'll say a sentence. You repeat it. Ready? Where is the check-in counter? Pause. Can you help me, please? Pause. I don't understand. Pause. Could you speak more slowly? Pause. Very good. These are your tools. Use them. Now let's talk about confidence. Because language is not just words. It's also how you feel. Have you ever noticed? When you feel confident, your English sounds better, even if you make mistakes. That's because confidence changes your energy. So here's a simple tip. Before you speak, breathe. In and out. Relax your body. Then speak slowly. You don't need to rush. Let me share one more reflection. Every time you speak English in a real situation, you grow, even if you make mistakes. Especially if you make mistakes. Because mistakes are practice. They are not failure. So next time something goes wrong, don't say, "I'm bad at English." Say, "I'm learning." That small change is powerful. Now imagine this future version of you. You walk into an airport. You feel calm. You know what to say. You ask questions easily. You smile. You understand more. That version of you is possible. And you're already on the way. Before we finish, let's do one last practice. Repeat after me. I can communicate in English. Pause. I don't need perfect English. Pause. I am improving every day. Pause. Yes, you are. So next time you're at the airport, remember this. Keep your sentences simple. Ask for help when you need it. Speak slowly and believe in yourself because you don't need perfect English. You just need the courage to speak. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.